I am off to run tests this morning. I will take you on my adventure, so woohoo, get ready. Okay, so I just went into the MRI machine and I was in there maybe 10 seconds and completely freaked out. I mean, completely freaked out, like they had to pull me out. So now I just drank some gnarly stuff. I don't know what it was. It was gross. It wasn't that bad. I had to drink it to get this CT scan. So waiting 2 hours to get the CT scan, and then I'm not sure what we're going to do about the MRI, but I've never freaked out like that before. Like, that was crazy. So yeah. Whew. Okay, so I am outside because I could not breathe. MRI completely freaked me out. And it's crazy because I've had them done before, when I was younger. Never bothered me before. And talking to my sister, I realized why it freaked me out. So I guess this journey is a lot of different things, but I realized that it had to do with the abuse that I endured and being held down against my will and having to fight to try and get free. And that happened a lot. So apparently it stuck with me. I thought I was over all of that. But that must have been the trigger that kind of sent me over the edge in the MRI machine, because I have been out of that machine for an hour now and have been crying for the last 30 minutes. Really crying. Just freaked out about, having to go back in there. I can't go back in there. And it's crazy because you can see it's an open-ended machine. It's a little tube and I can get out. And that was just not going to happen. So I'm waiting for the CT scan now. I had to drink this gnarly juice. And you have to wait 2 hours for it to get in your system, I guess. So they're going to do the CT scan, and then my doctor just reached out to, I guess there is an open MRI machine. So they're getting the insurance authorization for that. This was not something I expected to happen. This was not. This was not. This was... this was not part of the journey to bring up my past and all that stuff. But I'm glad it did, because I've had to deal with it a little bit this morning. So yeah, it's I don't know. This has been interesting this morning. I did not, like I said, I didn't expect this. I've had probably 2 or 3 MRIs done before over the years. My knee and things like that. I was in a car accident and had to have one done. So, triggering the past and the domestic violence that I went through, those wounds run very deep, and apparently deeper than I even realized. I always think it's other people, right? Because I've gotten help, I've gotten counseling, I've been through therapy, I've done all these things, but it's a process, and it's a process that it kind of reminds me of the cancer, I guess. It's you have to get all of it out. And there's still some residual there. This has been very hard this morning. Very, very hard. In the hospital, you can't have anybody with you. You can't have anybody come with you to anything anymore. So, just processing it through texting with my sister, and talking to my man about it, and just going through this. And then on top of it, you're sitting in the waiting room when there's other people, and they're just like, "What's she crying about?" So yeah, there's that too. And so I just decided I need to come outside and get some fresh air, get some cold fresh air, and kind of reset my system. Do some grounding out here. I have worship music playing in my head, in my headphones. I needed that to just kind of get out of that headspace, because it literally felt like I was in there 10 seconds. And I made a joke to the guy. I was like, "I'll probably fall asleep, so just wake me up, whatever." And he was like, "Okay, 40 minutes, you'll be in there, and then we'll take you out and inject you with some stuff, and then we'll put you back in for like 10 minutes. And I was like, "Okay, cool, I get to take a nap." And I closed my eyes thinking, okay, I'm just in case, I'm going to keep my eyes closed. And I literally 10 seconds, and I was just like pushing the button like a crazy person. I couldn't breathe. I was shaking. I couldn't even hardly put my clothes on. I was shaking so much. And just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't think there's enough drugs in the world to put me back in that machine. Literally, I never opened my eyes, not once, because I think it would have just been 100 times worse. But just, felt like I was being buried alive. Don't know what that feels like, but that's what I felt like. So, Grey's Anatomy, they lie. All those doctor shows, they lie. It's not what it is. It just, I don't know, crazy, freaked out. So as soon as I get my authorization for that, I will have that done. And honestly, I'm kind of mad at myself, for not being stronger, not being able to do that. I'm not a quitter. I'm not somebody who gives up, and I tap out. I seriously tap out. So yeah, I will let you know how the next test goes, because woo! So blood work is all done. The lady told me that she had breast cancer in 2008. She asked me who my doctor was, and apparently he's quite famous. And she said, "Oh yeah, I had breast cancer in 2008." And I go, "Oh wow, long-time survivor." She goes, "You will be too. I can see it all over you." I needed that today. Yeah, I really needed that today. Not because I have doubts, but because today has been, really rough. Crazy rough with, that stupid MRI. So yeah, blood work is done. I have lost 20 pounds. Yep, I've lost 20 pounds so far, which is I have more to lose, so it's okay. I talked to my comadre today, and she said that's pretty typical, loss of appetite. And that's just it. Like I'm not eating as much. I'm not really hungry. I think, part of it is just not wanting to poop, to be honest with you, because all of that is kind of painful. So, yeah, I don't eat a lot. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of raw vegetables. So I guess this is healthy for me. Who knew? But yeah, that was kind of awesome hearing that, I needed to hear that. So, yesterday and the day before were painful for me. And the kids are kind of starting to see the reality of it. Nico asked how my train ride was, and I said, it's kind of uncomfortable. It's cool to ride the train, but it's kind of uncomfortable for me because sitting for so long. And he was like, pain from what? So I could tell it, kind of hasn't really set in yet. And to be quite honest, I haven't shared a lot. So really my man and Shyla are probably the ones that see it the most. My man is the one that really sees the pain that I'm in, and he can see it on my face when it's bad. So I'm going to be reaching out to the doctor today to see what we can do about that. But I have both arms have been stuck. I am officially a porcupine. Porcupines don't get stuck, they do the sticking. I'm officially a pincushion. There you go. I'm a pincushion today. So yeah, I feel a lot better. I had to drink a whole bunch of contrast for the that was funny. That's funny. I have to tell you about this. So you have to drink the contrast for the CT scan, and that goes into your colon. Well, then they put an IV of contrast in that goes into your veins, I guess, into your blood veins. So the nurse goes, it's going to feel like you have to pee or that you peed, but you didn't, so don't worry about it. And she goes, like, don't move. Like, it's going to feel like that. And I was like, okay, that's just kind of weird or whatever. And so I'm laying there, and she goes, you kind of feel warm, and, it'll go away, I promise. And I was like, okay, I don't feel anything. They put me through the machine a couple of times, and then I didn't feel anything, and they put me through the machine a couple more times, and then all of a sudden it got really warm down there. And then I knew what she was talking about. It totally felt like I peed. Like, it was crazy. I was like, oh, okay. Feels like there's a heating pad on my hoo-ha. Interesting sensation. Woo. But it was kind of nice, kind of warm. But yeah, it was definitely strange. One of the many fun things of getting blood work done and tests run. Woohoo! So this has been my day. I'm gonna go hang out with my kids and be with them, and just do mom stuff, which I love doing. So I will update you guys when I know more.